Hello and welcome to our lunch talk today. We have another wonderful guest with us as we continue the trend with our tech skills showcase this week. We are getting close to the end. We have 2 more days. This is the second last day for our participants to be working away on their challenges. So I hope that if you haven't had a chance to join us on Slack, you will before judging takes place tomorrow morning so that you can cheer on your favorite team and help us celebrate the winners, as well as just help grow those professional networks, right? For everyone who's involved. All right, I can see people joining us in the participant list here, so I will go ahead and get started with my announcements. And if you want to say hello while I'm talking, then feel free to use the chat. All right, so hello and welcome to today's lunch talk. We will have guest speakers join us over the lunch hour each day, representing leaders, innovators, and job creators in the Saskatchewan tech sector. They are here to give you insight, tips, and tools to build your tech career. I would like to start this session by acknowledging that we are gathered here from across Saskatchewan, a province formed under the numbered treaties 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. This land is also the traditional territory of the Cree, Assiniboine, Saulteaux, Lakota, Dene, and Dakota, and the homeland of the Métis-Michif Nation. My name is Kalina Braille-Taman, and I am one of the employer liaisons with Regina Open Door Society. I'm happy to host this event today, and I also have Willow Yorga with me, one of the Youth Employment and Skills Strategy instructors from our Employment Services team. Bear with me as I muddle through some of my acronyms. But yeah, she's going to be helping take care of the technical side of things today. So if you have any concerns, please use the chat to open a direct message to either her or myself. After our speaker is finished, we will open the floor to questions. You may use the question feature to type your questions or use the hand raising function to ask your question directly. Please keep your microphone muted unless I call on you during the question period. We are recording this session as well, so we will be sharing a link in our Slack community and on the chat with anybody who has missed it. If you do not wish to have your voice or face recorded, we ask that you keep your microphone camera off. I guess you won't have your camera on, but as that goes as well to the chat function, be mindful if you are posting in the chat, we may read those comments out loud throughout the recording, so just be aware of that as you are posting. Okay, so with that being said, I look forward to introducing our guest today. Today we have Ryan Tessier here from Saskatchewan Polytechnic. Hi, Ryan. So I have a bit of information I can share with you about Ryan before I turn things over. Dr. Ryan Tessier is on a mission to help people learn and grow, cutting his teeth teaching everything from math, statistics, coding, and even chemistry and business writing. Ryan is passionate about delivering high-quality learning experiences. As academic chair of training solutions at Saskatchewan Polytechnic, Ryan puts his over 10 plus years of instructional, administrative, and research experience to work by building partnerships to help organizations meet their learning goals. Most recently, Ryan built, staffed, and delivered a training program in cloud skills to faculty from other post-secondary institutions around the country in partnership with Microsoft Canada. Ryan looks forward to talking about some of the cool things on the go at the School of Continuing Education at Saskatchewan Polytechnic. And with that, I will turn things over to Ryan.
Thank you so much, Kalina. Really appreciate the introduction. That was very kind of you. And like I said, well, not like I said, I have a habit of saying that, but I do have to thank you for putting this whole thing together. Kalina, Willow, this is like an awesome event. I've had a chance to kind of sit on some of the talks, not all of them, busy, but I have sat on some of them. You've got some fantastic speakers. And before I get started, I have also, like Kalina and Willow were telling me about some of the cool projects you guys have on the go here for any of you who are participating in the event. There's like a real estate listing website being developed and like a mental health connection app. It's like some really cool stuff. So, I have to thank the organizers. I got to thank the other speakers. And you know what? I also thank everybody who's attending or participating in the challenges, because we're working on some really cool stuff. So I'm going to start sharing my slides. I don't know. I've seen some of the other speakers just kind of go off and talk without slides, but years of teaching have taught me that I don't do well without slides. So I've got a set put together here for you, and we'll get sharing and I'll get started. So again, I'm with Sask Polytech, and I see there's some comments in the chat. I'm so used to checking them. This is the first time. I'm so thankful to have Willow and Kalina here checking them for me, because I'm usually the one checking those when I teach. But thank you so much. So again, I'm with Saskatchewan Polytechnic, and I am the academic chair in the School of Continuing Education, responsible for training solutions. So like she said, broadly, what I do is I help work with businesses, work with organizations, work with, heck, even some students to find avenues to grow, on the one side, our training and our content, as well as how we can better serve the needs of communities. I work in the School of Continuing Education. So the goal for us is to deliver the most relevant training that you might need to accomplish your learning goals. But more than that, we also pride ourselves on being able to provide a quality experience and connect with employers that can help you find that next step in your job. So today, what I'm hoping to talk about is some of the cool stuff we have on the go, where we're trying to connect with the tech industry at large in the province to bridge that gap between the people we're training, the people that I'd be teaching, and the people I work with teach, and the employment aspect, especially in the tech community. And we're hoping that, in this era of expansion where we're trying to grow the tech industry in the province, we can help you find the job you're looking for and give you the tools you need to succeed at it. So I know it's already sounding a little bit like hey, buy this training course discussion here, but that's really not what I'm here for. The goal here is to really just talk about some really cool programs we have on the go that are really there to help serve folks who are traditionally underrepresented in tech and newcomers in the province with getting their foot in the door, getting a credential that they might need, and finding a path into the job that they want. Okay, so I thank the organizers for giving the acknowledgement that we are situated on Treaty 4 and Treaty 6 territories in the ancestral land of the Cree, Saulteaux, Dene, Dakota, Lakota, and Nakota peoples, as well as the traditional homeland of the Métis. I think that deserves respect. And this sort of segues into what our strategy is for how we approach the tech industry, and why what we're trying to offer now is really a break from tradition. We're trying to throw out the model of how traditional, go to school, take your training, and then you're done and you're left on your own. We're trying to throw that out a little bit and kind of rethink it. And the way we do that is really by harnessing this, what really started as kind of as our Indigenous strategy. It really, the key phrase in our Indigenous strategy, which is Mio Wakotowin, which means good relations. And so, I work with a lot of employers, and I work with a lot of students, and a lot of groups and community groups. And our goal is really to build good relations and to build that goodwill between ourselves, employers, students, and make sure that everybody knows that, we're here to contribute and provide provide a positive experience for everybody involved. So you're going to see that through today, when I talk a little bit about some of the stuff we're working on to help bridge that gap between the training, the training, the skilling, and the employment piece that a lot of you are probably thinking about after you succeed at this project. But before we get started, let's just get to know each other a little bit. I know this introduction's been long, but I like to meet everybody. I just kind of want to know where everybody comes from. What's your background? So if you want to give me your name, what's your area of expertise, where you come from, and maybe either how long you've been in Canada or how long you've been working in tech, that'd be very much appreciated. I really like to meet the people in these sessions because for me, it's all about helping you find the right job or the right career that you're looking for, and it helps me to know the type of people that we're working with today. I'll just wait a moment. I don't like too much. So while you're thinking about that and typing it up, I'll just give myself a little introduction, and I don't have to feel too bad. I know Kalina did a fantastic job of introducing myself, but I do have my PhD in mathematics. My expertise is really kind of all over the place. I did some research in machine learning. I worked a bit in labor relations. I did some business development. I've worked in academic leadership. And even most recently, like I said, I've been working to deliver cloud training, as well as a number of, I've taught math, I've taught stats, economics, coding, cloud skills. I've lived in Canada my whole life, so I'm familiar with, the Canadian, what it is to be Canadian. And as I understand, some folks are not, have been, like many newcomers that go to Regina Open Door Society. So I say welcome if you're very new, and I hope you enjoy it if you've been here for a while. I've been just a huge technology enthusiast for a long time as well. So it's something that I'm very passionate about, and working in this area, I just love the fact that I can connect with people who work in the industry and other people who are looking for jobs in the industry to help bridge that gap for them. Oh, Kalina, we have a Kalina in the crowd. Works in employment services, but the area of expertise is really relationship management, intercultural relations. I've been learning about tech in Saskatchewan ever since the first tech skills showcase in February 2020. Well, welcome, Kalina. Anybody else want to share? I imagine people are probably a little bit tired from all the hard work you've been doing this week too. So if you don't want to share, that's totally fine.
I have Shinshan has his hand raised in the participant list.
Go ahead, Shinshan.
I can't seem to unmute Shinshan though.
Oh, maybe we have to, maybe it's the Zoom webinar.
Yeah, you may have to post in the chat, or unless you can do it, Willow.
Yeah, you can type it in the chat.
I think I may be able to. Sorry, who had their hand up? Okay.
Shinshan, I think.
So like CHUN?
Yeah.
I think you might have to type it in the, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. You got them chatting.
Yep.
Hi,
oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can.
Oh,
yep.
Oh, okay. First of all, thank you for giving me us an opportunity to know to have connection with the staff in industry. My name is Chun Shan. I'm from China. When I was in China, I worked in a manufacturing company. I was an IT person in that company. I came to Canada in the year 2020. And when I was in China, I worked over 12 years in IT industry, IT area. The company is a manufacturing company, but I'm an IT person in the company. That's all.
Wow, that's awesome. So you bring a lot of experience into Canada. So I'm very impressed by that. So I'm very. It's a pleasure to meet you, Chen Shan.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and we have another person in the chat here, just Atonye. I apologize if I'm not great with reading the names. Amubo Peple. Your background is in engineering and management, currently transitioning into IT project management. Fantastic, fantastic. 2 years of experience in Canada so far, or 2 years in Canada. Okay, I don't see any more, but you know what? If any more pops up, I'll certainly respond to you and make you feel welcome here. We're all here to have some fun and learn a little bit about what we're doing. So, okay, so I'm just going to move on. So again, I work in the School of Continuing Education at Saskatchewan Polytechnic. So our focus, again, is solely to try to find ways to help you upskill and help you get trained for the job or the career of the future. And it was interesting because I sat through Aaron's talk, which was an excellent talk, where he brought up the labor market, employment, what's the heck's the name of that? But the LMEI survey, talking about what does the tech sector look like in Saskatchewan right now? And there were some things that I took from that talk that I found really interesting. Because, you know, a couple of things he talked about was one thing I took away was that 60 to 80% of his company, a tech company in Saskatchewan, hires in a lot of ways based on referrals. So what's that say to me? It says that we need to be responsive to employers, right? We also see that Aaron and his company, and he works at Siemens. It's a large organization here in Saskatchewan, a big tech company. They're going to expect that they're going to be training you for the next 6 to 12 months, and focused on training for the next 6 to 12 months to get you into there. So training is an important piece, ongoing as you move through your life cycle. There are also the amount of different technologies. The world's changing, and the things you have to know are just accelerating and changing every couple of years. You know, I work in cloud computing. I've done a lot of teaching in cloud computing. And I remember the stuff I learned last year even is totally different now this year. They've totally revised some of the platforms, some of the architectures. It's a very different world. So things are changing quickly, and education needs to be flexible. And then credentials do matter. We need to make sure that we have, you noticed when we were talking with Aaron, if you happen to attend his talk, that I think it was like 40% of folks who are in the tech industry had at least a bachelor's degree. But then that means there's another 60% who have some other kind of credential, right? Credential, or maybe they don't have any credential. I'm not sure what the numbers are there, but the importance is that, and the thing we see is that credentials and proof of the quality of your education is an important piece. But I like to hone in on this thing with referral, because I think it can sometimes seem to people like, well, heck, how the heck do I get involved with a company, right? And congrats to RODS, the Regina Open Door Society, on the work they're doing here to make their connection with employers. One thing we're trying to do in the School of Continuing Education is we've really laid out a sort of a three-pronged approach to how we're going to help support the tech industry in our province and help you get the career that you're looking for. You know, I think about Saskatchewan Polytechnic, and in our province, I don't know if you know us very well, but if you say Saskatchewan Polytechnic, most people will think trades and nursing, and that's a fact. And it's true in a lot of ways. Like if I go to the industry dinners where you see the leadership of my organization, we're meeting with people in industry, and the people are usually folks from construction, they're from the health authority, they're from a number of different areas like that. But what we're doing is, one thing we've been really inspired by is groups like RODS, Regina Open Door Society, and Hack Regina, Data for Good, in their engagement with employers and engagement with community. And that's why we've been able to have a good, we've been able to work well with employers and get people successfully placed into jobs in these other areas, is because we do have that connection to industry. So while traditionally Saskatchewan Polytechnic has not been as focused on technology, we realize that this is an area that we need to be responsive to. Aaron showed us there's something like 40,000 people employed in tech in the province. Like, that's a huge number. Like 4% of the province or something like that is just in tech alone. And that's not even counting the other industries that we're involved in. So, one thing what I'm going to be talking about today is a lot of our newest areas of expansion, because we always know we've been providing high quality accredited training. That's what our bread and butter is. We can give you a credential, we can give you training. But the question is, and as we're seeing with, like what Aaron's saying, we need to focus more on employer and community engagement to connect with employers and help you get that introduction to start that career, as well as offering the supports to help you be successful in your career. And so this is what we're growing into, and this is where a lot of our newest initiatives are taking us into, because we want to make sure that you can not only get the training you're after, but also embed yourself into the Saskatchewan ecosystem of tech and get involved and get to meet the people that you need to know to get the job that you want or the career that you want. So just to talk a little bit about how we're doing some of this stuff. We've been engaging with employers. So in March, we Saskatchewan Polytechnic, in collaboration with Innovation Saskatchewan and Sask Tech, which if you met Regina in his talk, I've cited a couple times, he represents. We put together a roundtable of industry leaders from the province. These are people like people from the cultivators, like Collabs and Cultivator, as well as from associations like Sask Interactive, and then also brought together big business like Vendasta. We had a representative from Microsoft there as a guest speaker, as well as people from the startup community. And we got them together to try to hear what are the pressing challenges that are facing the tech industry right now. And I mean, the biggest thing that they're saying is labor. So it's a really great opportunity right now, but we also talked a lot about what are the different ways that Saskatchewan Polytechnic can meet those needs of industry and help take folks who might be, newcomers to Canada or from a diverse background and upskill and retrain those folks to bring them into the tech sector and have them contribute in a really meaningful way. So that's one avenue we've been taking. We've also been really expanding and our focus on our cloud skills and very cutting edge technology training. So like I said, I was running a program on behalf of Microsoft this year, primarily delivering cloud skills training on Microsoft Azure to faculty from post-secondaries around the country, as well as select people. And in addition to that, we had people from a number of different large tech companies and banks and startups who were taking this training along with them to try to upskill. And we built sort of a wide network of different employers that we've been able to work with and been fortunate to train over that time period. We're starting to make inroads working with groups like Amazon and Google Cloud to try to expand our know-how in cloud platforms, as well as we're offering a number of different postgraduate certificates in things like tech management, cloud computing and blockchain, as well as software development, data analytics, and a lot of others that are available as well to try to meet that skills gap. But also do it in a way that we can connect with employers as well. Another one we were up to, and I only put this slide up because it was the only slide I had for this, but we also sponsored a data visualization challenge. So we got to get involved with Data for Good to sponsor a data visualization challenge. I ended up judging over there with Logan Kopas from 7 Shifts and Ricardo Del Cid, who's the director of analytics over at the Saskatchewan Roughriders Football Club. But this is another group where they're doing excellent work in the community and they're helping people build their portfolios. So in this particular challenge, we had, I think, at least 10 teams who were putting together visualizations using bike data that was donated from SGI. So SGI took a bunch of bike accident data from around the city of Regina, and they gave it to the data experts who work with Data for Good. And they were able to generate some really cool insights, showing things like the need for more bike lanes in the city, and showing things like, here's an interesting fact I never knew. Apparently, most of our bike accidents happen when somebody's taking a right turn for whatever reason. So just a lot of these cool projects that we're trying to get involved with because we need to make that connection to community and that connection to industry. And so that's a big focus of ours. We're also working on, and I see we have somebody else that identified in the chat in the meantime here. So I wanted to just say hi, Giachi. I apologize. I see you've been here a while and you're working on web services and app development in Saskatoon. So very nice to meet you. We also, another way that we've been trying to meet the needs is that we heard the call from people like Aaron and from the employers we work with that retraining and upskilling is going to be an important piece an important piece that people need as they get employed. So like Aaron said, where, and from that LMEI report, most people are expecting that you're going to have to train for 6 to 12 months once you get on the job. So we're trying to build a large collection of what are called micro-credentials, which are these micro-learning modules that let you just sort of take self-paced courses with some videos and with some content that you can do over a lunch hour, you can do over half of a day to help you get the quick skills that you need as soon as you can to help you get upskilled faster and get into that job and get ready to impress your boss faster than you ever could before. The nice thing about these though, and the real advantage of these, and we're going to be launching these in fall 2022, is that they're also stackable, meaning, and that means like nothing to you from when I say that, but the point is that you can take these, and if you build them up, like if you take enough of these things, they'll lead to a Saskatchewan Polytechnic full credential. So even if you're working, even if right now you're working maybe not the job you want, you can take a number of these micro credentials, stack them up, and build them into something that's more, that's one of our larger credentials, okay? So, and that's how we're trying to meet that need for flexibility that I talked about. But what I'm really proud of, one of our flagship way that we're trying to help support you get into the workforce, and I think this is the one that's going to resonate the most, especially if you're a newcomer for Canada, is we have 2 programs. Both of them have been, both of these are out there with the goal to try to get newcomers to Canada, people with disabilities, females, Indigenous people, the skills they need and a credential that they can take so that they can get employed in the Canadian workforce. Or, and not just the Canadian workforce, but to get employed. The advantage of it though, is we've been talking a lot about all the other pieces around how do we make sure that you're supported? How do we make sure that you're, 1, connecting with industry, and 2, supported in your journey? So both of these programs have a component of career placement and career career support, as well as additional student supports. And the best thing about these 2 programs is that they're entirely free. If you fall underneath the groups that that would be eligible, both these programs are entirely free for you to take. So this is what we're very much proud of right now. Both of these are pilot projects. Shockproofing for Future Skills, I'm going to talk about first. This was done in collaboration with Future Skills. This is like a larger federal grant to try to, again, help provide online and upskilling training to newcomers to Canada and to Indigenous people, to people with disabilities, and as well as just non-traditionally the groups that are non-traditionally represented in tech. And building on that, we've also got the New Start program, which was just announced the other day. Actually, it's we got 13. There's $13 million worth of government funding in this program from the Saskatchewan government as a commitment to try to get you free training if you're not represented in the tech industry, if you're from a group that's not traditionally represented, but specifically if you're a newcomer to Canada. So I'm going to talk a little bit about these because I think that these are things that might be interested to you, because I know all of you are aware that, getting a job in the Canadian, it can sometimes be hard, and having that extra credential can give you that piece you need to kind of get your foot in the door, right? So talking about the Shockproofing for Future Skills, I'm just going to start here. So this is an innovative project from Saskatchewan Polytechnic that introduces online learning into current post-secondary programs from IT, agriculture, food supply chain, healthcare, manufacturing, and warehouse sectors. So that part's probably less interesting. You care more about the IT from what I'm getting from most of the people who are in the chat. These virtual training programs provide supportive, connected learning experiences and increase student success through a number of different digital supports that we provide to you. It also allows learners to gain the skills you need to keep good and well-paying jobs. So like I said, we have a number of seats available. The applications have been live for a few months here, but if you're successful in this one, basically it's free if you can, if you're successful. So if you're, like I said, newcomer to Canada, if you're Indigenous, if you a person with disabilities, women, as well as youth, these are things you can, you're all eligible. And I would encourage you to apply if you're thinking about doing some more education. I'll talk a little bit about the technology program that we have sponsored through this program, okay? So like I said, it's under the guidance of the Future Skills Center. And so this is, you get free tuition, you get free textbooks and learning resources, and you also get access to a wide variety of online learning materials to help you support yourself in this journey. Specifically, the program that this one sponsors, the one you can apply for, is an applied certificate in website design and development. So this is one of our core programs at Saskatchewan Polytechnic. These things like design. They teach you things like design principles, JavaScript, interactive authoring, responsive web development, things like that. So just to talk a little bit more about this, it's a 29-week program running from September to April of 2021 to 2022. Like I said, we talk about design principles, JavaScript, interactive authoring, responsive web development, and you can find out more just on this page. And Kalina and Willow, I will send you this link so that it's not going to get lost there. Let me just open up I think I have it right here. So just give me 1 second. I'm gonna I can put it in the chat for everybody. Is that okay with you, Willow and Kalina? Awesome. I'm gonna put it in the chat. So if you're interested in that program, it's right there. And if you're interested in applying for the shockproofing funding, see if you're eligible. You can apply to the second link that I posted there. Okay. This is a good program. So if you're interested, absolutely, definitely apply. But the one we're really proud of, not that this one we're not proud of too, but I'm saying that if you want I guess the Cadillac or whatever you want to call it, this next program is really it's a really new program. It's something that was just launched last week, and it's really a pilot for us. So this is the one where I'm sort of saying, okay, this is where you're going to get some of the most support. So this is, I'm highly encouraging that if anything I say here sounds interested, apply. It's totally free, and see if you're maybe eligible for it. But the idea here is that this is what's called the New Start program. So this is a pilot project that was done in collaboration with the government of Saskatchewan, where we're trying to see that, okay, if you're somebody who's a newcomer to Canada, or somebody who's otherwise traditionally underrepresented in technology in this province, is there like a bunch of it? Are there some additional supports we can provide that will help you get employed? Because the government and I think it's been heard loud and clear that it can be hard to get a job if you're not already, one of the traditional groups in tech. And it's an unfortunate reality, and it really is. But this pilot project's really to try to solve that problem, is what support can we give you to help make that bridge a little bit smaller? So like I said, it's the same group of people who would be eligible. And I'll talk a little bit about some of the actual supports that that are being supported in the program to help you be successful. So in addition to what we'll be offering in the programs that you'd be eligible for here, we've also got essential skills training built into it. So these are things like reading to enhance your ability for reading comprehension, writing, document use, numeracy, computer use, thinking, oral communication, working with others, and teamwork, and continuous learning. So essential skills are a huge component, making sure that you're that well-rounded individual when you come out of this program, that you have all the skills necessary. And employers are going to look at that and say, yes, this person coming out of this program, they've got that piece. But we also have some other supports. So we have this thing called a virtual learning strategist. So sometimes when you come in, and you come into a program like this, it's confusing and you don't know how it's going to work. So the virtual learning tutor is there as a way for students with maybe more learning challenges. These can actually be embedded into the programs to develop a learning plan that's customized to your needs. So we're not just giving the training and, saying, go do the training, succeed. We're offering that personalized approach to prepare a learning plan that will be right for you. Rudder, that makes no sense if it's just there on its own, but what it is that we have this platform called Rudder, which is a personalized service delivery platform, which uses AI and sort of chatbot features to provide real-time remote support for you and access to mentorship throughout your program and work placements. So this Rudder program works such that if you're having let's say it's, the night of the test and you're freaking out because the test is coming up tomorrow and you need to study and you just don't know what you're going to do because you're just not grabbing it, the Rudder's there that you can type into Rudder, you can get some support, and they'll get back to you with real-time information to help you with your with the problems you might be having. Now, for many of you, language isn't an issue, but there are folks out there who have challenges with maybe adapting to the language in business and the way that it's being used in the tech industry. We actually also provide free language training to anybody who is chosen for this program, where you can engage your language and your essential skills training so that you can get better at the language you need for the business, the role you're going to be taking on, okay? And lastly, and this is the coolest thing, we actually are going to be putting together work placements for you. So if you're chosen, if you're successful and you manage to get the funding, it's free. And then you also get work placement features afterwards, where they will actually take you and place you in with a company to so that they can try you out and see you get the chance to show off your skills and show off what you can do. Okay. So now I'm going to tell you about, and so we're almost wrapped up here too. I see we're getting a little bit close. Yeah, work placement's awesome. So the program that we are using as a flagship for this program on the Sask Polytech side is, and I'll talk about how you can get the program in a moment here, so the two programs that are eligible at Saskatchewan Polytechnic are our web development and our data science boot camps. We offer these in partnership with Lighthouse Labs. So if you're not familiar with Lighthouse Labs, this is a coding boot camp company that offers data science and web development boot camps across the country. I believe they're the leading boot camp in the country by enrollments. And the cool thing about it is that, it is a partnership. So they're providing the content and helping you go through the material. But we're on the other end providing the credential and providing the support. We've had our learning teams assess this content to make sure that it meets the standards for us, and we're attaching our own name to this because we think it is that high quality of training that can help you get it. And the cool thing about Lighthouse Labs is that even before the work placement that we do, they will be giving you career supports as well. So there's actually a built-in career support component in the program itself before you even get into the work placement piece, okay? So let me just talk a little bit more about the new start at Lighthouse Labs. So again, we have 40 fully funded seats. So 40 folks can get in, and there's actually an application process. We actually, you know what, I'm going to put another link in the chat here because this is the Sask Polytech link for this. So www.saskpolytech.ca/coding. So I'm just going to put that in the chat, and I'll show it here too. Like I said, free tuition for either the web development or the data science boot camps. Though they are fairly intensive programs. So they are 12, but they are short. So 12 weeks, it says 12 hours a day, but it's really about 2 hours of lecture. And then the rest of it's working on projects so that you can build your portfolio. And then beforehand, though, you will have to go through a free interview and technical assessment. And the reason for that is really so that we can be confident that you're going to have the skills you need to succeed, that you're going to be committed, and that you're going to be dedicated to working through the program. But if you are, you get huge benefits from it in the sense that you get those career services, you get those work placements. You also get a credential from us, as well as a Lighthouse certificate. So you're getting recognized in that way, and you can take that to an employer and show them that this has been recognized by Saskatchewan Polytechnic. And then again, we have also our career and learning supports available, just like the ones I've talked about before. Oh yeah, I know. I gotta start getting wrapped up. So again, the web development, the data science, and then we have some career supports. So just sort of getting towards the end here. I just want to mention that we have an info session coming up for the Lighthouse Labs boot camps. I'm just going to end the actual show, and I'm just going to copy this link for you. And I'm going to put this in the chat. So we have an information session if you want to hear more about the boot camps. And then if you want to find out more about the New Start program itself, we actually have an information session coming up. It's coming up on Monday as well as one on Wednesday. Okay. So yeah, if you have any more questions, like I said, I'm here and I'm willing to answer. I just wanted to get to this part so that I could give you these links. All the New Start sessions, like all the information sessions, are listed on here, and you'll be talking to their program head. So she'll be able to give you much more detailed knowledge about the New Start program. So at that, I thank you all for your time. Absolutely. Email newstart@saskpolytech.ca to find out if you're eligible, and just some contact information here. So if you want to contact me after the fact, this certainly, if you want to answer some, I'll answer some questions in a second here, but I also just want to put my contact information up here. You're welcome to send me an email if you have any questions about anything that I've talked about that we don't talk about after this. You can also add me on LinkedIn if you want to add me on LinkedIn and just have me as a connection, or just drop me a line and say hi. Like, I'm happy to chat with anybody, even just discuss maybe what might be a good career path for you. I don't know, or what kind of training you might be interested in. We also you can get in touch with the School of Continuing Education at Sask Polytech, at coned@saskpolytech.ca. And then I just have the other links that I've shared here before on the New Start, the shockproofing, the Lighthouse. So how am I doing for time, Willow and Kalina?
We're good. We have about 15 minutes left for a Q&A. So
Okay.
if you would like to start putting your questions in the chat for Ryan, I can start reading them out to him here. So I'll give everyone a couple minutes to type if you have any questions about any of these programs or the admission requirements or anything else that he talked about. Put your questions in the chat and you'll have a chance for him to answer them.
I'm going to put my LinkedIn in there. You can click on it.
Oh, perfect.
No.
There's a LinkedIn thread starting in the channel today where everyone's posting their LinkedIn links, I guess, as well too, to add each other. So I might go over there and just post your LinkedIn for you as well.
Yeah, hey, absolutely. Like I said, always happy to meet somebody who wants to chat about whether they want some training, or heck, I'll talk about anything, honestly. I see somebody did ask how can we get this program? So I just wanted to go over that again really quickly. So if you are interested in the program, you will have to go to New Start. So you can actually find information on the New Start webpage that I shared. I'll repost it just again to be really on the ball here. And let me just open it up quickly for you and just sort of show you a little bit about the New Start program here. So this is our page. It gives you sort of a summary information about it, and you can even see a recorded information session if you're interested. So there is an info session here to find out more information. It talks about our individualized supports, but then to get started, just click the application process button here, because what they'll need to do is they have to assess to make sure that you are of one of the groups that is represented in this scholarship. So they'll do like a personal interview with you just to assess your suitability. And after that, if you're interested in taking the boot camps, then they'll send you an application link so that you can apply. Okay. It also, if you scroll down, you can find the boot camps down here. There's September to December is the first one, October to January is the second, and then November to, these are the most recent dates that are coming up. Okay, or the soonest dates, I guess. Also, I mean, not saying that, I assume you're all mostly interested in tech, but if you happen to be interested in other programs, you can also apply to those as well. Maybe automotive painter, or we even have an Indigenous leadership program. I know that the audience here is mostly tech, so I assume you're not as interested in those, but you certainly can look through those. And if there's one that strikes your fancy, maybe you want to have a change of careers.
You might have already answered this, but these programs are scholarship based. You said, is it the scholarship just cover tuition, or is there any kind of living allowance attached with that?
That's a good question. Unfortunately, I don't believe that the living allowance is covered, but I do believe that the tuition itself is covered. And the Lighthouse Labs boot camps are regularly $13,000. So
okay.
the value
so
is
textbooks and everything would be included?
All the textbooks are included, and then all that other supports that I talked about are also included in the program.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, I'm thinking that if there are not a whole lot of questions, that means you've done a really good job at explaining all of
Yeah,
the
this never happens.
providing all of the links that we need and stuff. So
Are the programs totally free? That's a good question. The program is totally free. Yes, if you are selected, if you are of the, so you first have to make sure you go through the interview, because again, there's some specific criteria, which I don't know all of the criteria, but if you go through the interview, they will let you know that whether you're eligible or not. 40 seats for the boot camp. So
it's quite competitive.
Yeah. It is, well, it's competitive, but at the same time, I will let you know, we just launched it yesterday. So if you apply now, there's a good chance you're going to get one of the seats. I can tell you that much. So very good chance. Yes, Kalina, absolutely. The time is now. Apply now.
Or maybe after judging tomorrow. I mean, that might be fair. If you guys are busy and trying to rush and put together your final projects, maybe you can wait till after you're judging tomorrow. But make note of all of these links, bookmark them, get that contact information, have your network ready to work for you once you're ready to jump into it.
Absolutely. Let me just go over here. Well, so again, I assume I don't see any more. So are we good to wrap up here?
I think so.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Well, I appreciate your time, everybody. I really do. Thank you so much for listening to me talk about these things. Like I said, we are trying to make sure that you are getting that holistic support. So if you have any questions, or you want to just shoot me a line, or even just comment, I'm happy to hear it. So thank you again. And once again, thank you to the Regina Open Door Society for putting on such a fantastic event and an awesome week of cool speakers. So thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much, Ryan, for joining us today.
Oh, I could absolutely share the PDF if you're interested. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can share the PDF, then we can also post it on the Slack channel for any of the team members who are still working through their lunch right now. But I do have a few closing remarks just before you guys all sign out. So thank you so much, Ryan, for joining us today and helping us understand more about the opportunities, the awesome scholarships that are available through continuing education. And thank you everyone who joined us on their lunch break today. Please remember to keep up to date with the Tech Skills Showcase through the Slack channel. That's where we do post all of our summaries and overviews of everything we've done throughout the day. Tomorrow, we will be joined over the lunch hour by the amazing Hannah Castle from The Cultivator, too. So we hope you will be able to join us, and we will get to find out how our competitors have fared in meeting the challenges laid out for them. So it should be a really exciting day tomorrow. In about half an hour today, we strongly encourage anyone interested in the tech sector in Saskatchewan to join us for the Knowledge Cafe. This cafe is a participatory event designed to bring us together and answer big questions about the sector, current trends, potential gaps, and dreaming big for the future of tech in this province. The knowledge gathered at this event will help both newcomer tech professionals, current tech leaders, service providers, and policymakers build capacity and support sector growth in the province. So please join us if you can. The event will take place via Zoom at 1:30. If you need to register, you can go to our website, or you can find links in the Slack channel. So thanks so much, everyone, for joining us today.
Thanks again. Bye, everybody.
Take care, guys.